All right, unfiltered, unbuttoned, unapologetic, no less. Welcoming everyone back. Been just a tremendously, excruciatingly difficult time across the country as major city police departments continue their efforts, painstaking efforts, to squelch this violent crime that's just bubbled up everywhere across the country, including right here in our backyard, Charlotte, as we sit here today. More than 60 people killed in our community alone so far this year. And look at that, I mean, we're only in July, late July. Something's got to give. What people don't get to see beyond the press conferences and what you see on the television and on the news is once that crime scene tape comes down and things and time starts to elapse, the ripple effect that this violent crime really has on people. This isn't about percentages, this is about people. And one of the people who I've known for a very long time,
yes,
Andrea Long, is someone who's been impacted by violent crime greatly. It was her two sons, Josh and Terry. Years back, it was 2008, lost both of her sons in one night, 17 and 18 years old, these two young guys, at the hands of a 17-year-old over a grudge that they had some kind of beef that's been going on for a little while. And here this woman is years later, still feeling that great impact, and I've known her for a long time. And I want the community to really get a glimpse of the impact and the ripple that violent crime has on people. And that's why I've got you here. And I thank you for being here. I know you're a busy woman. You've always been such a tremendous asset, outspoken supporter of people who've been victimized. And
yep.
How's your life been?
It's just been upside down. It has been sickness. It has been mentally messed up. It has been a really, really tough life. And the thing is that it is about this whole situation is that we in a city now that's protesting and marching and doing all these things. I remember when Josh and Terry got killed, and besides family and friends, nobody walked the Brooklyn Bridge, New York, and all these places. We are taking being prejudiced against who can die and who can't die. So if you shoot me, then it's a big hailstorm. But if we shoot each other, we can go right on to work, clock in, and act like ain't nothing going on.
When police shoot someone in the community, there's outrage in the community, but you're not seeing that same level of outrage when people are killing each other in the community.
That's right, and that's how I feel. And I don't think the police is right. I think a police shooter armed man, he should be considered a murderer also. But I also don't think that it's right for you to call yourself Black Lives Matters, wearing hats and things. Because if Black Lives Matter, you are the ones in the community taking black lives. So how can it matter? It don't matter unless somebody that's outside of the community or a different race kills somebody black. But if I kill the young man, if somebody down the street you done played with, you went to their mom's house, you done been to the beach with them, you have had a relationship with them. If he get murdered, nobody cares. Everybody just talks about it, go get a $10 t-shirt and show up and light a candle. But when another race kill a black person, it's like that, oh, shoot, we got to burn down everything, we got to loot them, we got to do everything. And I just don't think that is right. If you want to get this community together, you need to start with your own people. Sweep your own front door first. Because the problem is that we do not care about killing each other. Because we cared about black life. Why do we have 60 people dead and the summer has not even ended?
So you think it's inconsistent?
I think it's inconsistent. If a 14-year-old just got killed the other day, I live on West Boulevard. I heard about it. When I went to my mailbox, I didn't see nobody protesting. I didn't see nobody saying we need to stop the killing. I didn't see any of that. My kids were shot in the back of the head. You didn't open your mouth. You didn't say anything. But you know why? Because they were shot by their own kind. So you really saying, well, if a black person kill a black person, so what? But if a police or a white person kill you, it's on.
You know that that's not the popular thing to say right now. What the things that you're saying now may land very poorly with some people in the community, in the country, who feel like, there is a disproportionate number of African American people that are being brutalized by police officers.
I understand that some police officers are rude, are nasty, and need to be taken off the force. But I have worked with Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers, and I have met some of the most wonderful people that cared about me after Joshua Terry was gone. And I'm talking years after. So I have been on both sides of the fence. And see, I know about how this community police work. Every police in Charlotte is not great, but we have a good system basically here. And I know that I'm stepping on a lot of people's feet right now, but their feet need to be stepped on because this is an epidemic between blacks. Black lives matters. And when I see one of them shirts, I just want to choke them because if Black Life Matter, you'll say, man, I ain't going to pull out this gun. I'm going home. And we don't have to even get to that. Because he black. Don't his life matter? Ain't that's what you saying? You telling everybody from New York to Washington to Atlanta to New Jersey to Charlotte to Chesterfield, you saying Black Lives Matter. You marching out there in the hot heat, in the rain. You got masks on. You saying Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, why are you killing the life you say matter?
There's also this talk now and a push for some to disband police, just to abolish them altogether. What do you think that, if that were ever to come to fruition, what kind of impact do you think that would have if the police just go away, they're abolished in the African American community?
Well, I go to space. There's no way in the world we can not live without protection. So we have to have somebody to serve and protect. Because of the simple fact, you are getting robbed, killed, and murdered now. Just think about what would happen if wasn't no control. It would just, do what you do. Mm-hmm. People couldn't have businesses. People couldn't even walk the street without being raped and abducted. So I think that's kind of dumb, and when I hear people say stuff like that, it's just the dumbness in them, because anybody know in their right mind, you have to have a committee of policemen for protection. Because I tell you one thing, if somebody next door over there robbing and killing my neighbor, I ain't gonna run over there and save her. I have to be honest. I'm gonna pick up the phone and call 911.
And you're going to hope somebody's coming.
And I hope somebody's coming. And another thing, too, is that people get all upset and mad and do all this crazy stuff and say all these things, Black Lives Matter. But soon as somebody in their family, a cousin, an uncle, a sister get killed, the first thing they do is come right down here in this government building and want to know about their case. Where he be getting life, they take the same people that say Black Lives Matter. They take and use the same people that they talking about they don't want to be associated with. They take and use these people when that happens to them.
So you think it's political? This has more to do with politics than it does about people?
You know what? I think it's really that. I remember I used to say, I can't stand Popo. I remember I used to say that, and I used to say that to my kids. And then when my kids got shot down, if it wasn't for the good CSI, the work, the crime scene, being protected so well, this guy would be out here walking around.
Well, he ain't walking around. He's doing 2 life sentences.
He's doing 2 life sentences.
2 life sentences.
So you have to be careful about what you say out your mouth. Because if somebody was with you right now and they was getting ready to murder you, you would be happy to see a blue and white car pull up.
And your neighborhood, it's a tough neighborhood that you live in.
Yes.
So who's really victimized in your neighborhoods, and who's vulnerable in your neighborhood if the police aren't coming? They're awfully vulnerable if they've got nobody to look after them.
Yeah, and then I stay in a neighborhood where these people lived in these houses for 40 and 50 years. They are older people. They are easy to prey on, because their children was raised in that community.
Sure. So
it's sad that we walk around and say something we don't really believe. And I tell you, when I told my son, I explained to him because he couldn't get it. I am not going to be a part of no Black Lives Matter until y'all stop put those guns down and stop killing black people. When I can see a year go by and they say we had 3 deaths and now Black Lives Matter.
Well, let me ask you, and you hit on it just a couple of seconds ago, what's prompting all of this violence, especially with the young people and picking up the guns? I mean, this is an epidemic that we're in the middle of right now. What do you think's at play here?
I think that's their power. They think they're invisible, and they'll use it. And another thing, they'll use it just to use it.
Young people.
Yeah, I'm talking from 14 to 19.
Just flexing.
They'll use it just to use it. And then at times they pull that trigger and forget about their own life also. Yeah. So they are doing things that they need to take a good look at. We as a people, African American people, need to get ourselves together.
It's flat out obscene, color aside. But you can't ignore the numbers when you have 60 young African American people that have been killed so far this year in our community. 80 last year, African American.
Oh my God.
7,000 in the country last year. And it seems like it's glossed over. Like there's no outrage to the extent that there should be. A lot of these are young people.
Yeah.
And we are losing generations of young people.
Yeah, and then I'm so tired of everybody saying, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. If you had on a shirt say White Lives Matter, then you supposed to, when you see your brother man, you supposed to be willing to not do 2 things: to not kill him and to be able to prevent from killing him.
You mentioned a couple of minutes ago that some people will feel like you're stepping on toes here and you're going to get pushed back for some of the things that you're saying in the African American community. Why? Why would you get pushed back for merely pointing out that it's a travesty to lose young lives so senselessly? Why would you get pushed back on that?
And then you look, and then when you lose them so sensitively, it's just a hurting feeling. You got 60 mothers. You got to remember, Rob, 60 mothers somewhere today that can't hold their head up. Because I know that one day somebody trying to feed her, somebody trying to get out of bed. She making funeral arrangements. She don't know what she wanted the body to go to.
Walk the community through that, because nobody gets to see that. What's your life been like since you lost those 2 young boys? What's your life been like?
When I lost my son, you have to go dress them. And I remember my mother and my husband, all of us went, and I fainted. I couldn't even come in the funeral home because I fainted. But you have to dress them. You have to tell the funeral home how you want them buried. You got to pick out a casket. I mean, the whole family is just in shambles. Then you have to turn around and go home and look at that room that he lived in. You have to turn around and you have to take his shoes and his belongings and pack them up because he's not coming back. You know, at night, your nights are horrible. They are horrible. And sometimes they are so horrible that some of us had to get on meds. Because it got to the point that I had to go see a psychiatrist. Then I had to go see a psychiatrist because I was so down in the dumps. I did not know what to do. I started losing myself. I did not know which way to go. So when you turn around and kill our kids, African-American kids, African-American kids, you kill that kid mother too. Because I know one thing, and this is something I really know, when your son, your children gone, it's nothing you can do about it. But all that hurt and all that pain make you feel like that you want to do something to yourself now. Sometimes you don't get it. You're not in your right mind. You're not that person that you usually would be. That strong, funny, motivated woman turns into a mummy. And you out here wearing a shirt saying Black Lives Matter, and we in the bed barely can get up, barely can basically comb our hair. I remember what my sister told me. I said, let me go get her, because she hadn't bathed or combed her hair in like 2 or 3 days. So that's what we going through. When you all on internet talking about you gonna bling bling, and when you see him, you gonna put a bullet in him and this, that, and the other. And half of these kids not educated, don't have their high school diploma. It's a lot of things that this community, us, this the only time we see people in our community, like Al Sharpton, the city councils, people like that, is when a police is involved, basically.
How do we turn it around? I mean, it's not one single person that's going to really
It's
move
not
this.
one single person can turn it around. These moms, we got to come together. We got to come together because we have to. Because some of us know that our kids carrying guns. Some of us know that guns are in our homes. Some of us are not immune to that.
What about the dads? That always gets kind of glossed over. Don't the dads have a responsibility too?
The dads have a responsibility, the ones that's in the community. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are not in the community, who knows where they are. But if we came together, and we really came together, I think that we could do a lot together. And one thing I always said, I say, you take a bunch of mamas, because I'm a mother. You take a bunch of mothers and you put them on their job and see what it get done.
Oh, it'll get done, won't it?
It'll get done. But see, it's not going to get done until it happen to you, like it did me. We got to just stop pretending. We got to get ourselves together as mothers. As you see a dope house in your community, call. When you know they really on the roll and they rolling, call. Because guess what? A dope house could turn into a gun fight.
And quite frequently.
And that's yeah. So
and who's left in the wake of that?
Right.
The good people in the neighborhood that are in their living rooms and bedrooms, and those bullets.
That's right.
Spraying right through those homes.
Yeah. So when it's to me it seems like we stop caring about our community. We stop caring about our kids. We kind of like doing our own thing now. And then we march, not being disrespectful or funny for a man that we don't even know. But we won't march for these kids that we grew up with, went to school with, played ball with, went to their mama house, ate her ice cream cone. That's what we need to do. We need to get Charlotte, North Carolina together and say, we no more. we would not have these numbers no more.
Well, if I know you as well as I've known you, and I know you pretty well, and we've known each other for a long time, I don't suspect that she's going to be giving up that effort and that work and pursue that journey anytime soon. This is something she's been resolute with for more than a decade. I love you. You know I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, Rob. But that's just something that we need to do, because I'm telling you, if we get together and we join hands, when they marched and everything, it made a difference. But if we came together in Charlotte and marched, and we said, as just mothers, and we no kids, just mothers, and said we would not let you shoot our kids down like dogs anymore. We are tired of burying our kids. We are tired of the funeral home waiting for another one to come in. We are sick of it. We sick of making t-shirts. We sick of calendars. We sick of it. We sick of going to the graveyard. We sick of when his birthday come, I have to go talk to him in the graveyard. And if I see you, you will be exposed. Yeah. And I don't care who you is or how bad you is. That's just my duty. So it is what it is.
Hopefully those words will penetrate a lot of people who needed to hear those words. I think we all need to hear those words, be reminded of those words frequently, because, you know, this is just obscene. The number of people, young people that we're losing, especially in our African-American community. Andrea, I can't thank you enough. I know how busy you are.